See, the route you on right now is the route you got to take. And it's very uniquely yours. This thing you going through, this is just uniquely yours. You just got to understand you ain't the only one. You ain't the only one going through it.
When we go through opposition, these challenging times, we don't have to fall apart. God controls the whole universe. He won't allow anything to happen unless he knows how to bring good out of it. But you have to do your part and keep your faith stirred up. The enemy would love to deceive you into burying your dream, thinking that it's never going to work out. Don't believe those lies. It's not too late to become all that you were created to be. And every time you remember your dream, every time you say, Lord, thank you for bringing it to pass, you're removing some dirt. You're digging it back out. Maybe you've struggled with an illness for a long time. Early on, you believed you could get well, but now it's been years and you're just learning to live with it. What's happened is your healing, your breakthrough, your freedom has gotten buried. It's still in you. It's still alive. If you'll start believing again, God can bring it to pass. Instead of thinking, well, it's never going to work out. I've had so many bad medical reports. That's putting more dirt on it. That's burying it deeper. Why don't you get your shovel out and start removing some of that dirt? How do you do that? Lord, thank you that you're restoring health back into me. Thank you that the number of my days you will fulfill. Thank you that I'm getting stronger, healthier. If you'll keep talking, thinking like that, that dream that's been buried is going to come back to life. This is what allows God to do great things. God is moved by our faith. He's not moved by our discouragement, by our complaining, by our self-pity. Joel, I'm never going to meet the right person. I've been hurt too many times. You're remembering the wrong thing. As long as you remember the hurt, you're going to get stuck. Turn it around. Start remembering your dream.
I don't know nobody that's not trying to be happy or successful. If you're not trying to be those two things, something's seriously wrong. And you got to go get yourself some help.
It's not about me. It's not about the other people. It's about you. It's about you making a difference and you making the necessary changes to get what you want out of your life. The time is now. You can't do it tomorrow. You can't do it yesterday. You got right now. Build on that. Find a solution to your problems. Don't depend on other people to change you. Don't depend on other people to evolve you. Being different, as I've always said, is nothing wrong with being different. Stand out in the crowd. Don't be like everybody else. Don't feel that you got to belong to a group of people for people to respect you. If you don't like where you are, then you must change what you do. But not just change, start evolving. Evolve into something that's unique. Become something great. Believe in yourself. And understand that it takes work. And it takes an idea. You have to understand that there's going to be some sacrifices that you must make. So when are you going to make a change? When are you going to finally realize that it's up to you? What you need to be focusing on is a better life, a better understanding, a better you. And if you're not willing to work on that, if you're not willing to change that, then how strong do you really think you will be in the rest of the life that you've been given?
Think about your dream right now. I want you to think about it and envision it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me share something with you. I do not believe that any of us have dreams that were not given to us for the purpose of accomplishing those particular dreams. And I want to share something with you that has changed my life. I started out, as was indicated by Jack, some very humble beginnings. I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how far-fetched it might appear to be. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. But here's what I know, that dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible.
And I'm going to tell you right now, it won't be easy. It will be hard because life is hard. That's what life is. And these challenges that you face, they're going to do their best to take you down. Do not let them. Stand up, dig in. Line up those problems and confront them. Face them. Fight them. Do not let them bring you down. In fact, let those challenges raise you up. Let them elevate you. Let their demands and their trials make you stronger. Let the adversity you face today turn you into a better person tomorrow. So in the future, you look back at these struggles and you say to them, thank you. You made me better.
We all face difficulties that don't look like they'll ever change. Seems like the more we pray, the worse it gets. We don't see any sign of things improving. It's easy to live discouraged and accept that it's not meant to be. But Paul said in 2 Corinthians, our present troubles are small and won't last very long. These troubles will soon be over, but the joy to come will last forever. What you're up against may look permanent. Seems like it's going to take years to get well, years to get out of debt, years to meet the right person. Don't be fooled by what you see. God is saying the trouble is only temporary. It's not going to last very long. Soon it's going to be over. Soon you're going to see the breakthrough. Soon your health is going to turn around. Soon you're going to meet the person of your dreams. You may not see how this can happen. Everything in your reasoning says it's not possible. You're looking at it in the natural. We serve a supernatural God. He can make things happen that you can't make happen. And instead of thinking of all the reasons why it's not going to work out, how it's going to take forever, try a different approach. Father, thank you that this difficulty will soon be over. Thank you that this sickness, this depression, this family problem will not last very long.
You just got to hope. Sometimes you ain't strong enough to believe, but you can always be strong enough to just hope. That I hope God come get me. I hope I make it. See, what they tell you when you read the scripture and you say faith is the substance of things hoped for. What faith really is just hard hoping. And I just took that hope and just kept hope alive. If you can keep hoping, man, you have a chance. You just can't become hopeless. The devil is busy, man. The devil has one job. That's to rob you of your destiny. That's his only position in life. He don't care if you get money, a car, a house. As long as he can rob you of your destiny, that's the devil's whole mission in life. He just want to rob. He just wants you to not be what God made you to be. But if you can remain hopeful in spite of all adversity, like it was times in my car, man, I felt like quitting. I felt like giving up. Living in a car is not a simple task, but I just, some days I just said, man, God, I hope something happens. Come on. All you got to do is hope. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
Before you, he will never give you an assignment without giving you the ability, the strength to make it through victoriously.
You will win if you don't quit. Even a broke clock is right twice a day.
As you go through the challenges of life and you look at it and embrace whatever comes to you, don't run from it. Step toward it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. See, most people want it easy. See, if easy come, easy what? easy go. See, but when you go at what you're going to deal with and you deal with the difficulties of it, when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now that you don't want to make, learning those things that you don't like to do, but you know that in order for you to get where you want to go, this is one of the hoops that you have to flip through. And I'm saying to you, whatever you got to do, do it, because if you don't, life is going to whoop you until you surrender. You have something that you brought to the universe, and that if you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it, and mastering myself, and seeing what I have within me, if you decide to drop your buckets where you are and develop your gifts, I grant you, you'll never ever be without. I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. I grant you that if you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself, because part of beginning to get a larger vision of yourself, all of us need some area of our lives where we can have a feeling of competence. That people know when they think about this area, that's something you do. That you eat and sleep that. And that you do that. You do that.
I want you to know that you matter. Yep, I said it. You. Not anybody else, but you. You matter. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to know what you do matters. When you brush your teeth in the morning, I want you to know that you matter. When you iron your clothes in the morning and you don't feel like getting out of bed, I want you to know that you matter. I want you to understand that you matter, because what you do could change somebody's life and the trajectory of what they can overcome. I want you to know that you matter because nobody ever told me that I mattered. I want you to know that you matter because you got people that's dependent on you right now. You may have some kids. You may have some younger siblings. You may have mom, dad, grandma, auntie. There's somebody out there that's dependent on you. So I want you to know that you matter. You have the ability, and you have the tools and the power and all of the amazing characteristics that are on the inside of you are ready to come out and come to fruition, and ready to see you walking your purpose and who you were called to be and what you were called to do. Because you and I are the aspirin to somebody's headache. How long are you gonna let them suffer? So I want you to know that you matter. Because I remember my 8th grade teacher told me I'll never be anything in life. I'll either be dead or in jail. So I want you to know that you matter. I'm telling you that I'm dependent on you because you matter. And nobody can tell you what you can't overcome if they never been through it. So I want you to trust the process. I want you to stay 10 toes down. I want you to understand that you can prove them wrong, because I want you to know. So I need you to stay 10 toes down when all you have is you. All it takes is an ounce to believe in yourself. All it takes is an ounce to have the ability to recreate history and make it happen. Because you can't dream all day with no action. So I'm challenging you with staying 10 toes down, because you may feel like nobody supports you, because they told you that it would never happen. I need you to stay 10 toes down because you have the ability to do it. You can turn your dreams into a reality. You have the ability to leave a legacy. And I need you to stay 10 toes down because I'm dependent on you to turn your dreams into a reality. I need you to stay 10 toes down when Nobody is clapping for you. I need you to stay 10 toes down when your back is against the wall and you have no choice or no opportunity, so you gotta come out swinging. Because I support you. I'm rooting for you. I'm cheering for you from the sideline. I'm your biggest fan. I'm telling you that you can do it. I'm telling you that you're phenomenal and amazing and that you have the ability to recreate history, because I know that you can stay 10 toes down. I remember when my dad would call my grandmother and my grandmother would tell me that my father was coming to get me, and I would be so excited and all the emotions and all the feelings that I had, and he never came. I stood at the screen door for 2 or 3 days waiting on my father, hoping and wishing that he would come, and he never came. So I told myself as I got older that one day I'm gonna have kids, and my kids will never know what it feels like not to have their father, because I know what it feels like. I know what the heartbreak feel like. I know the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts and everything that you're going through. So I want you to know that you matter. I remember when my 8th grade teacher told me I'd never be anything. I remember when I got molested at 10 years old by my babysitter. I remember when my mom would text me, and she would text me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and tell me they putting a taser to my head. Do you feel that? But I still had to understand on what my calling and what my purpose was, because I had to understand that I mattered. So what am I telling you? I'm telling you that even though you're facing adversity right now, even though there's something that's bothering you and there's something that's harming you right now in this very moment, I'm telling you that you matter.
The more isn't by radical self-acceptance of all your pathetic flaws.
Extreme Ownership, another book you can get. It's about personal responsibility and how that will make you win as a leader. So get that book if you don't have it yet. And if you don't have it, if you have it and you want your team to be better, get the book for your team so that they start taking ownership of the problems and then the problems start getting solved. Discipline Equals Freedom, field manual. It's out. Thanks to everyone that bought it and made it into a bestseller, a New York Times bestseller, a Wall Street Journal bestseller. Those things are cool. Guess what? Appreciate all you out there buying the book, spreading the word. Everyone that sent pictures of 12 books stacked up that you're buying for everyone on your team or everyone you know, or you're buying them for Christmas and your dad and your uncle. Thank you for doing that. Because not only did it help the book do well and continue to help the book do well, it's also going to help those people out, in my opinion.
Agree. Not
that everyone's going to get it. Some people are going to go, this book is stupid.
Impossible.
You know,
Look at it.
And what we talked about earlier, some people read the book and they go, oh, I already knew that. Well, of course you did, but why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it? Because someone obviously thinks you need to do it. So, okay, you get it. That's fine. Yeah. You know what you're supposed to do. Guess what? We all know what we're supposed to do. We all know what's going to improve our station in life and what's going to make it worse. Why aren't you doing the things that you're supposed to do? Question. I don't know.
No, you got a manual.
I actually do know. You want to know why? Because you lack the discipline. You lack the discipline to do the things you know you're supposed to do. Don't.
Oh, you might also lack the fear. It's like it actually matters if you don't do it. It matters if you leave things undone. You leave the world in an uncompleted state. And it hurts. It hurts you, it hurts your family, it hurts your society, and it hurts the world. So if you're laying there being useless and not getting at it, then you're contributing to the catastrophe. And it's that simple. So it actually matters if you do it. And I think sometimes people don't do it because they don't understand that. You know, they're down on themselves. They don't think they matter. It's like, you matter a lot more than you think you do. And actually that's rather frightening. You know, because you think, well, wouldn't it be nice if everybody mattered? It's like, you got to think that through. If what you do matters, you better look out. So get at it, because you're going to pay for it if you don't. So...
Thank you. Yes, I obviously agree with that. And a lot of people have been asking for the audio version. And like I said, it's on the MP3 platforms. It's on Google Play, iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify.
Yes.
Spotify. I think you can ask your Alexa to play it, right? If you have that digital thing in your... that.
If it's on Amazon Music, I think it automatically does it. I don't know for sure, but... You know.
If you need some leadership support, training at your team or your business, Echelon Front, that is the leadership consulting company. It's me, Leif Babin, JP Donnell, Dave Burke. info@echelonfront.com. We'll come and get after it with you and your leadership team. If you want to keep this conversation going, you can hit all of us up on the interwebs, on Twitter, Instagram, and on the Facebook. Echo is at Echo Charles. I am at Jocko Willink. And Jordan is Jordan B. Peterson on Twitter, Jordan B. Peterson on YouTube, and Dr. Jordan B. Peterson on Facebook. And like I said, you also have the podcast as well. Echo, do you have any closing thoughts?
That's it. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for the invitation. It's been great.
I recruited Charlier on that military base that he drove by on the way to Pelican Hill. On the base, he was in full fatigues. Rich Thawley walked me around his vineyard. I was trying to recruit him. He recruited me. Thank God. And guess what? I found someone. I went, oh, I'm not kidding you. I went, he's like Rod. He sees it. He's like my grandpa. He's like Papa. He sees me. He sees what I can be. He really cares about me. I want to be like him, and he cares about me. He was instantly my leader. And to this day he does. I'm going to get a text message. It's probably already there. I love you. I believe in you. It's the best you've ever done. Thank you. He always does it. He loves me. That's what a leader is. We're looking for those leaders. You got to face your Ray-Rays in life. You got to rise up. You got to make your dreams a reality and live a damn masterpiece. You know this. Now, here's the thing. A couple things. You got to make a decision. Listen to me. You got to make a decision. What's the decision? What's the thing you came here for? Now we're at the moment. The clock is ticking. People say all the time, hey, life is short. Let me tell you something. Life can be long. You bury your dreams. You quit this. Life gets long. See, time's relative. 2 minutes of you being with your sweetie, doing whatever you like to do with them, that can go by quick, right? What's about the last 2 minutes on a treadmill? Does that not seem like it goes by for like 4 hours, right? So if you're enjoying it, it's short. If it's painful, it's long. Life can be long. You want a life that feels like it's flying by. You want a life like I have right now where I go, can I just press pause? Can I just press pause? It's so good. It's so great. It's so rewarding. It's so awesome. But I don't really want to press pause because I know it can get better. So what's the decision? What have you been sitting on? What is it? Is it people are texting me, hey Ed, I submitted my resignation last night. I'm coming full time. I walked away from a 6-figure job. Is that the decision? Is it the decision to finally get serious? Is it the decision to get licensed? Is it the decision to stop worrying about what people think? Is it the decision to become a great closer? Is it the decision to something in a relationship you have you need to get out or into and shake it? Is it a decision to get off of some drug or alcohol you're on? What's the decision right now? What is it? Be honest with yourself. What's the decision? You know what it is. It's sitting right in front of you. You knew it when you came in here, and now me and your family are bringing it back up. What's the decision? What have you been hesitating on? What are you afraid of? Face it right now. What do you need to decide? Is it getting aggressive? Is it believing in yourself? Is it reaching out to somebody? Is it a recruit you've missed? Is it coming full time? I don't know what it is for you. What's the decision? Maybe there's someone in your life that you need to get out of your life. Maybe there's someone you need in it and you need to tell them you love them and get them back in it. I don't know. But I know this. It's only a thought if you don't take an action. The difference between a thought and a decision is an action. So we know and you just decided and you know what it is. You know what it is. You will have really decided if within this next hour you took some step towards it. Something. A note you write, a text you send, a decision you've made, something you do that you follow up with the action to make it real. We will know that if within this hour or in this moment, maybe you just wrote it down. Boom, that's a step. Maybe you've scheduled it. Maybe you've put a date on it. Maybe you're feeling it right now. Maybe you can feel them talking to you right now about it because they know too, because they love you. I want you to think about something real quick. See, there's a book being written about your life, isn't there? Someone somewhere's taking inventory of your life. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 10. You write your own book. And at any moment in your life, you can decide that you want to make this the new chapter. You're literally in your life, you can turn the page. And those previous chapters are your old book. It's like Old Testament, New Testament. Old story, new story. They're connected, they're related, but you can flip the page and you can have a whole new story. If you decided right now, I am literally turning, my breakthrough is I turn the page, and in this second, I start to write the best chapters of my life. You could decide to do that. It would be our honor, our privilege. Your life is precious to me. I prayed for you before I came out here. We love you. You can see the emotion on our faces. You matter. Many of us stopped doing this for money a long time ago. You matter. Your family, your life is our privilege to be involved with it. It's our honor to be any way connected with you, not to do business with you, to do life with you. We want to help you write those chapters. We can help you see what it'll look like. We can give you a peek, but we can't do all the writing for you. You got to decide it. See, I hope you feel like the best chapters of your life are in front of you. I hope you got this sense sitting here right now that, my God, I think I'm changing. I think I'm going to make a shift. I think I'm going to a different life. I think I'm going to write a new chapter. I'm turning the page of my life. It's going to be the best time of my life. How many of you feel that way? Yes? Then guess what? You've had a breakthrough. You had a breakthrough. That's why you came here, was to get to this second, this moment. Now, in that moment, listen close. Can you hear them? What are they telling you? What are they telling you? What are those people telling you? They loved you. They believe in you. They're proud of you. They want you to honor them. They'll be with you all the way. They want you to write those best chapters of your life. See, they know how magnificent your life's supposed to be. They've always seen you since you were a little boy or a little girl. In the Lord's case, before you even came here, He's always seen you in the highest, most possible great version of you. And they want you to do it. I promise you, if you listen, they're whispering words to you of encouragement. You can feel it. You can feel the belief. You can feel the faith. You can feel you turning the page. You can feel the breakthrough. I hope that you feel that in your heart. I hope this experience this week has been life-altering for you. We love you.
Now that takes us to the next level. If it's hard, why do people do it? You ask people who do things. Why do they go it? People who climb mountains just for the sake of it. Nobody paying them to do it. Just do it. Somebody said, I'm going to run around the world. He said, well, why would somebody want to do that? I'm going to swim the Atlantic Channel. Why? Why do people do that? I wondered, why would a Nelson Mandela give up 26 years of his life? Why do people do that? Here's what I discovered in high school. High school, I decided I wanted to go out for football. Never forget this. And I discovered why people do things. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Even though it's hard, it's worth it. It's worth it. See, one day we had Coach Alkin Hepburn had this plaque down there and this wood on the floor, on the ground. He said, Brown, come over here. Had my suit on. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm going to have old Larry Littles down there. Old big Larry. Yes, sir. Big, fat, sorry Larry. Yes, sir. Brown, I want you to get down bull neck. Yes, sir. He said, I want you to run Larry. I want you to put your helmet right in his pit, right up in his chest and knock him off that board. You hear me, Brown? You can do that. Yes, sir. Can you do that? Yes, sir. I said, hubba, hubba. I said, hubba, hubba. He said, Brown, I want you to knock him off. You're going to make the team. I know you can get him. All right. Look at him. How sorry he is. Knees knocking and everything. I said, yes, sir. Then he went down to Larry. Larry Littles, who played 12 years for the Miami Dolphins, all pro for 12 years. This is a bad, big dude. 250 pounds, strength, agile, and all muscle. He said, Larry, he said, man, you know Brown down there. He's down there talking about your mom and everything. He talked about how fat and sorry you are and how he's going to knock you off this board. Larry now spitting fire and growling and foaming at the mouth. And I'm looking at Larry saying, oh, hubba, hubba. He said, look at that fool down there growling. He told me he's going to scare you that you're going to leave. Are you going to leave? No, coach, I ain't going to leave. Go down there and knock him out the park. Boy, coach got back. He winked at me. Go get him, Brown. I went hard. I ran into Larry with my helmet. Larry said, boom. I don't know where I landed. When they woke me up, I said, can y'all take this helmet off me for a minute? I said, y'all got any more positions out here? They said, like where? I said, don't y'all need an announcer? I said, Brian, where you going? I was crying. They said, man, some girls over there. I said, I don't care, man. I'm hurt. I said, that fool almost killed me, man. He said, Brian, you quit, man. I said, yeah. I said, what? I said, it ain't worth it, man. No, it ain't worth it. Y'all go ahead. Y'all crazy. I'll be your announcer, man. I was calling the game. I was up there in the booth. Called good games, too, because the pain wasn't worth it. And I'm saying to you, you know why people do what they do? The people who go after their stuff, what makes it worth it? It's got to be your passion. You got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love it. It's got to be what you are supposed to do. You want to sing, and even though they want to invite you to Carnegie Hall, you're going to sing to anybody that listen to you, including singing to yourself. I used to talk to my plants when nobody else would listen to me. You got to write, even if no one published your book, write, because that was given to you to do. You do what it is you're supposed to. You're supposed to build something. You're supposed to create something. I don't know how to do it. Learn. Do whatever is required. Just go out there.
Old Testament says a unique scenario unfolded according to the law, and that was they worked 9 years, and the 10th year was a sabbatical. The 10th year, work 9, take the 10th year, and not just to relax, not just to replenish, not maybe just to get physically in shape. Change of pace, we call it in the modern society, but not just for that. I'm sure that in ancient days, that sabbatical was to go over the last 9 years, what went right and what went wrong, and what worked well and what didn't work well. And how did you grow, and how did you learn, and how did you change, and what have you got now after 9 years that you didn't have at the beginning of the 9 years? See, that's so valuable. A sabbatical, some time. There's also something to be said for solitude when you reflect. Sometimes you can reflect with somebody. Husband and wife reflect on the past year, right? Parents reflect with their children on the past year. How did we do it, and how didn't we do it, and how could we improve? Colleagues can reflect with each other. But now here's one of the most important. You got to learn to reflect with yourself. There's something to be said for solitude. There's something to be said for taking those occasions to shut out the world and shut out everything else for a while. I've got a motorhome. That's how I do it. With my motorcycle on the back. And I head for the mountains and ride the Jeep Trail, where there's very few human beings on the Jeep Trail, or out in the desert somewhere. It's called my time to get away. When you live a very public life, you treasure solitude, a chance to reflect, go back over my life, go back over my skills, go back over my experience, alone. There are some things you need to do alone. Ponder, think, wonder, read, study, absorb, soak in, see if you can't become better this year than you were last year, better the next 9 than you were the first 9. Solitude. There's even a more modern advice that says, go to the closet for time of meditation, time of prayer. Go to the closet. Closet meaning what? Away. And there's even a graphic description of the away. It said, enter into your closet and what? Got some students here, I'm sure. What? Close the door. For what? Just to shut out everything. Life is experience, and touching and seeing and looking and doing and acting and disciplines and all the stuff. But sometimes, this is where this reflecting is so important, to shut the door, and wonder, prayer, contemplation, thinking, and let things move in to your consciousness and awareness that no other way can it be done, right? Flying down the freeway, I'm telling you, it's difficult to get through. So many things to do, it's difficult to get through. But times of solitude, times to reflect. So this is so valuable. Learn to reflect. Now here's why it's important to reflect. To make the past more valuable to serve you for the future. Here's what's really powerful. Learning to gather up the past and invest it in the future. Gather up today and invest it in tomorrow. Gather up this week and invest it in the next week. Gather up this year and invest it in the next year. See, that's so powerful, rather than just hanging on one more year, hanging in there, seeing what's going to happen. Learn, study. This is part of the personal development quest. Becoming better than you are, more valuable than you are, not just in terms of economics, in terms of motherhood, in terms of fatherhood, in terms of being a better brother, a better colleague, making a better contribution to the family, to society, to the community, to the church, to the office, to the commitment, to the partnership. Doesn't matter what it is that has value. Work on yourself. Then you bring more value to the partnership, to the marriage, to the franchise, to the corporation, to the enterprise, to the community, to the nation. Self-development, personal development. The best contribution you can make to someone else is self-development, not self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice only earns contempt. Self-development earns respect. Pity the mother who says, I'm just going to give up my life for my children. Self-sacrifice is not noble. Self-investment is noble from self-development. If I work on myself and become more valuable, think of what that'll do for our friendship. I used to use the old expression, you take care of me and I'll take care of you. I found out how shallow and short-ended that was. And I changed it to read like this. I'll take care of me for you, if you will please take care of you for me. And this is part of it, the personal development, that we work harder on ourselves than we do on our job. Now we bring that to the friendship. Now we bring that to the marriage. Now we bring that to the family relationship as a father, as a mother. And we develop the strength and we develop power. And it takes, I think, this scenario of discipline, these abilities, to acquire those gifts and those skills, that value, so that we bring more.
The more successful a person is, the less that person makes excuses for anything. Now, this disease of excusitis comes in several forms. And like most diseases, it gets worse if it isn't treated. A victim of this thought disease thinks like this: I'm not doing so well. What can I use as an alibi that'll help me save face? Let's see. Poor health, lack of education, too old, the way my family brought me up. And each time this person uses an excuse, it becomes more deeply embedded in his subconscious. Probably when he first used the excuse, he realized it was just an alibi or a lie. But the more he uses it, the more he believes it, until he is convinced that the excuse is the real reason for his lack of progress. So right now, I want you to vaccinate yourself against excusitis, the disease of failure. There are a number of types of this disease, and when you listen to what follows, you'll find out how to protect yourself against each of them.
Well, I'd like to take on more of the work that would really be important to me, but I really don't see where I have the time to do it. I'm really rushed now just to finish the work that I already have. I can't imagine how I would find more hours in the day to finish more work.
First, let's deal with what may be the most common form of excusitis, time. You hear this one everywhere. I don't have time, or not now, I'm too busy. People who make this excuse are saying, it takes every minute I've got just to keep up. So how do you expect me to put out the extra effort it takes to get ahead? But there's a basic fallacy in this excuse, and this is it. Everybody, whether you're the president of a big company or the paper boy, everybody has exactly the same amount of time. You and I both have 24 hours a day, 168 hours a week, no more, no less. The question is, what do you do with your time?
Most people spend about 51 hours a week sleeping and about 50 hours a week at work, counting commuting time. So far, that's 101 hours. On average, people spend about 15 hours a week eating, figuring 2 hours a day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a few minutes here and there for snacks. That's 116 hours. Now throw in 24 hours a week for relaxing, reading, watching television, playing with the kids, making love with your spouse, and getting some exercise. That makes 140 hours. And on top of that, throw in 4 hours a week for going to church or watching a football game. That makes 144 hours. But remember, there are 168 hours in a week. So even after we've eaten, slept, worked, played, made love, and even watched a lot of television, we've still got 24 hours left over. You could watch another 6 hours of television a week and still have 18 hours unaccounted for.
So where do people get this excuse? I haven't got enough time. There is just no truth to the statement. It simply is an alibi for mediocrity, for failing to give yourself the chance to succeed. Successful people don't say, I don't have time. Successful people welcome new challenges, and they find the time to meet them. There's an old business axiom that says, if you want something done, find the busiest person you can and get them to do it. The truth in that axiom is this: a busy person, a successful person, won't hide behind an excuse. That person wants challenges, wants more business, wants that additional assignment, because a successful person knows that success is a direct product of extra effort.
That's the hard part, because you want to try to surround yourself with like-minded people, but you also got to understand, this is something my father told me a long time ago. I don't know if this translates to you. Let me see. My father said, everybody come with you, can't go with you. Now this is hood, you know what I mean? When I say hood, this is poor people think very richly. Everybody come with you, can't go with you, which means there are some people in your life that can only go with you to a certain point, and they can't go anymore because they cannot think. See, let's say, listen to me. You say, I want to be a doctor. I'm just using that. I couldn't have been a doctor. I'm not that smart. I can't read, that good. So me being a doctor was out the question. And then I don't really care for sick people. So it's just not a good look for me being a doctor. Let's say you want to be a doctor. And you tell some people, I want to be a doctor. And you go to high school and you graduate from high school. And they go, yeah, he's going to be a doctor. And then you go to college. And some people you go to college with drop out of college. And you stay and you say, I am still going to be a doctor. Well, the person that dropped out of college, how can they possibly believe that you will be a doctor when they can't even finish school themselves? So that person goes away, and you go a little bit higher You graduate from college and you're getting ready to go to medical school, and the people that you went to college with, 2 of them drop off. If they don't get accepted into medical school, then they go away. So how can they possibly think that you will complete the task of being a doctor when they keep falling away? See, it's like this. Let me show you something. When a rocket ship takes off, back in the old days, there was 4 tanks of gas connected to this rocket ship. 4. In the USA at Cape Canaveral, Cape Kennedy, and they go 5, 4, 3, 2. And this rocket starts blasting up. It takes 4 tanks to get the rocket off the ground. But as soon as it comes off the ground, 2 of those tanks stay on the ground. Then as the rocket ship goes higher, back in the day when they used to show the rocket ships taking off, you see it getting high into the sky. You see 1 more tank fall off into the ocean. It falls into the ocean. Now there's only 1 tank. In order for this rocket to get into orbit, in order for you to get to where God wants you to go, eventually you will have to lose the other tank so that you can get into orbit and start orbiting the earth. If you do not get rid of the tanks along the way, you will be too heavy.